Alright, well, let's try to do something here with this motorcycle I got with the El Camino. That was out by the tree. I guess it's probably ready to try to start it or see if it's going to do anything, or just let it continue to return to the earth. It's kind of, I think, the condition it's in right now. So I don't have a whole lot of hopes for it. It's locked up. The only good news is that the back wheel started spinning. The bad news about that is, well, you know, Montana is not exactly known for rusting problems, but I guess when you're under a tree for 30 years, it's allowed. I didn't grab the little tool bag that I found in the cool little toolbox, but I didn't grab that out of storage when I grabbed this, so. And I already kind of showed the inside of the gas tank. Amazingly, it's not rusted. I do like the gas cap. So there's not a whole lot of information on this bike. I did figure out what it is exactly. I'm not exactly 100% sure on the year, but you know, I know the year range that they made them, and I don't really know much more about decoding the year on it, but this is between a 64 and 69 Sears gilera or something. I don't know. It's an Italian word. I'm sure I'm just tearing that word all up. But so the model is a Sears 106 SS, and little 4-stroke motor. It's kind of a cool little motor. That's one reason I want to kind of tear into it. I've never, I guess, worked on a motor like this where it's got like a Briggs and Stratton type of motor or an old Harley motor. I've never personally have worked on one, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's put together and all that good stuff. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of hope for it, but you know, it was leaning this way, so water probably didn't get in it, but you know, no air cleaner and all that other fun stuff, and weird little goofy carburetor, but you know. And then I guess somebody crashed one time and put a hole in it, and that was their fix. So this side cover's definitely been compromised a little bit. Brakes are seized up completely, and you know, it's missing pretty much everything. But if it'll start and run, I can get most all the parts for this bike fairly cheap, and it might be a fun resto mod that I'm not even gonna do much to it. If it'll run, I might pull it apart a little bit and tinker with it. I did find some wiring parts for the magneto because somebody cut the wiring to that, and I did find a coil and some other stuff that probably in better shape than what's on here. So anyways, so I think I'll start with probably just taking the gas tank off and taking the plug out, and maybe taking the exhaust off there, and probably get some oil down in the cylinder and see what we can do. I don't want to take a whole bunch apart on this bike unless I get the motor freed up. If I can get the motor freed up and it looks salvageable, then you know, I might pull the motor out and do some work. But if I can't get it freed up, or if I get it freed up and it's totally, you know, broken rings and scarred piston and rusted out cylinder and all that happy horse crap, I don't know if I'm going to put much into it. There are a couple cylinder and pistons available, but like I said, I want to put next to nothing into this bike. But the last cool thing I was going to mention that I'm thinking of is their advertisement on this was 60 miles an hour, and this is just a little 4-speed. And you know, if it really can do 60 miles an hour, that's pretty cool. That's the gear shift, I'm guessing, and looks like it's missing the pegs on this side, but you know, I know that's not impossible for a 100cc motorcycle. I had a buddy that had a little Kawasaki 100cc with a high and low range on it. And I think he could do about 55 with that one, but you know, that was, I believe, a 5-speed though. So if they can really get 60 mile an hour out of this thing, that's with that big of a sprocket on the rear. That's pretty good. So, all right, I'll quit rambling and I'll get some stuff tore apart here. Now I'm sure that this is a metric setup, but, or I mean, sorry, standard, but I'm gonna use metric tools on it probably. Well, a combination. We'll see. Okay, so it's looking like standard so far. Point you over here. I'm going to try to make my videos a little bit more in depth since I have a little more time today to piddle with stuff. Now these look like the factory screws for this. Well, it's kind of a weird looking screw. I'm sure some Sears motorcycle collectors probably gonna see this and say, I really need them gas tank bolts. So, you never know, might part this whole thing out. We'll just have to see. Alright. Bear with me with my camera stand. Okay. Guess the seat's part of it. Looks like it's been painted a couple times. So these bikes came blue and red and probably black, but dual petcocks. Didn't even notice that. So anyways, I hear just a little bit of crud floating around in there, but I think I guessed it's probably pretty clean. Alright, I'm going to switch around. We'll take a look at that cylinder and see what it looks like. Alright. You should always use an impact on a spark plug that doesn't want to come out. She's looking a little crunchy. I don't know. Better get my air hose. Hang on a second. Well, I don't know about that. Definitely got a valve stuck open. Alright, I'm gonna have to He-Man that probably. I don't know if I can get you set up here. I'll use the spark plug to hold you up. Well, that may not come off very happily. Dog. Okay, well, let me do a little pondering here. I might pop this off. Looks like a few 10 millimeters or maybe 5/16 or 3/8. I don't know, depends on what it is. Let me make a decision here real quick. And yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So, all right, let me make a decision. Well, I filled it up with PB Blaster. It's actually leaking out of the exhaust now. 5/16 was these little bolt size. What that was. Anyways. Well, there's a very vague sign of oil in there. So, that's good, I guess. Not really sure. Yeah, I guess that valve, exhaust valve is slightly opened, so. Well, I can't get this loose, but I can probably get this off and, you know, spiral that thing out of the way so we can have a look at how bad the piston is. So I think in order to do that, well, I shouldn't have to do too much, just blow out these holes here and get a wrench that'll fit that, and it should come out. Had an old Trials dirt bike, a Fanic Trials dirt bike that had the same brand of carburetor on it. So it even had these little stars on the serial number, so definitely Italian. Alright, well, let me see about getting that off. But I tried to get us a little bit here. These ones here are 1/2 inch. That one's 1/2 inch, and then I was getting flustered because I couldn't get my 1/2 inch fit on this, and then I tried a 13 and it still wouldn't fit, but it turns out that one's 9/16. So I guess hooray for them for trying to stump me here. I don't think there's a hidden bolt, but that don't mean anything. Oh, it's loose. Here comes the oil. Alright. Let me Let me see if I can get that off. I have a feeling now I'm kind of screwed with this exhaust. So, give me a minute here. Alright, well, the exhaust actually just kind of swiveled. I still couldn't get that loose, but it swiveled out of the way. It's probably the most adorable valve I've ever seen. So I'm guessing the valve isn't stuck. What a strange looking head gasket. It feels like it's plastic. Doesn't feel metal, but oh well. So there's our piston. It doesn't look terrible, but it definitely doesn't move. Should I just beat on it with a hammer? Oh. Whoops, because I should actually be recording this. I guess that's the sleeve. I don't know. Let me clean that up a little bit. And see if there's something I can do here. I wonder if this bolt is actually the oil. I bet the oil comes up. That's what oils the head, probably. Huh. Well, that's a neat little push rod. Hope I put it back in the right place. Alright, well, let me think about this a little bit. I don't want to hit it with a hammer yet. Okay, so I applied a little bit of heat with my torch on there. Cleaned it up some. But my only concern is, it's hard to tell. It's probably still hot. Let me get something here to poke at it. I'm gonna burn my hand. So get that off there. Right here, it's like distorted. The top of the piston right there. So I don't know what is going on with the piston there. So I don't know if this motor actually was maybe running and seized up. I have no idea. The base is loose. So, well, I'm going to heat it up a little more and beat it with a hammer probably, see what happens. I don't remember who I saw do this, or what channel, or I give them credit for it, but somebody once took a puller type of thing and used it to basically pull the cylinder off, but you know, unfortunately I can't pull the cylinder off because these are just attached to the case. Anyways, and it's not centered because, you know, Italian motorcycles, I guess. But I put a few cranks on there and I'm going to heat it up again and work on it. I thought about maybe pulling all these studs out and twisting on it, but if there's any chances it's going to work, I don't want to risk twisting the rod or breaking something. So, and I don't know what this, you know, how this thing is actually for the push rods. So that's what I've invented so far. So I guess I'll give her a try. Well, this is kind of exciting. Made some crackling and pop noises when I was heating it up just a little bit, and it actually popped down that much. Of course, I don't know which way we're going with our motorcycle or our kickstart. Oh yeah, I mean that's super loose now. Guess I could quit being so lazy and get the right wrench. But I don't wanna. Okay, it's pretty tight. Well, I think we are making progress here. Out of all the old dirt bikes I have pulled out of fields and messed with, I've never had one that was seized up. And that I pulled the head off. And that it was actually this clean. And even started breaking free. It wasn't full of rust. So I would say that's a win for me. So maybe this thing does want to start around. I don't want to break our piston though. Oh, it's actually going down with the kickstart. Better get some PB blaster. Let me get you in the stand and see if we can't break this together on camera. Move that guy out of the way. Being stubborn. Well, quit moving, I think. You should always use a hammer on your Kickstarter. Well, she's moving again. I'm glad that the Kickstarter works. Alright. This is probably real good on the cylinder. Well, I guess now we gotta abuse the cylinder the other way here. Oh, still not high enough. Yeah, the cylinder doesn't look that bad. I mean, I've ran some dirt bikes with some ring scars in them and ran them for a couple of years, so the cylinder feels actually really good. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, guess I need to do something here. Boy, that cylinder feels pretty good. something. So those sockets are the same height. Just gonna have to use them as my spacers. Now, I don't recommend doing this, but you know, I don't have anything to lose. Oh, it's pumping oil. Holy buckets. Well, I guess. Get you off the stand. I guess the motor wants to run, maybe. Yeah, you can see where the piston was sitting, but I mean, the cylinder is really good shape. I don't feel any scars in it, I think. And the way it's pushing all that crap out of there, I think I throw it back together. We'll see if this puppy will start. Well, I'll have to get some wiring for it. I don't have the magneto stuff, so that's pretty cool. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this, I guess. I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up here, and I'm not gonna pull the piston or anything. I'll check that base gasket since we bashed it so much, but I don't know. She's pumping oil. Even the oil looks pretty clean, so she's pumping oil and she's moving. I'm gonna check the valves, make sure they're not stuck, and heck, I think we'll just send it. We'll see if it'll start and run on how it is right here. And if it seems to run pretty good, you know, I might buy a muffler for it and probably find a new rear wheel. Front rim looks okay, but that rear wheel, whew, she's gone. It's at least got a rear brake, no brake cable. They're all disintegrated, so. And I'll have to probably build a clutch cable for it. But that might be cool. Another couple of months, it'll be warm enough here to piddle on a motorcycle, so maybe we'll see what we can do. Alright, well, hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope this is a lot more detailed video, so until next time, thanks for watching.